welcome to my channel. I just wanted to share some wonderful news with you guys that we're pregnant. It finally happened. Just in case you guys are ever so curious, I was going to show you a quick view of my belly shot. So here you go.
Now that I've worn out the world,
Hiding in this tough
I'm on my knees in
space.
fascination.
So I wanted to share with you guys what our experience was like trying to get pregnant. Basically, we didn't think we were. I think this happens to a lot of people, but we didn't think we were when it actually did work out. We've been trying for exactly a year, but for actual trying. And it was hard because I thought I should do all of the things in the book. Take my temperature. Let's see, what else did I do? I was using an app to track my temperature and all my symptoms. I was using ovulation sticks, maca root supplement. I took CoQ10. Man, that is its own thing. But I did that while I was doing more ovulation sticks, while I was taking my temperature at 5:30 in the morning every morning, even the mornings that I should be sleeping in. Yeah, I did everything that you could think of. Needless to say, it did work once, and then we did not have a healthy pregnancy that time around. So we tried again without some of those items. The ovulation sticks were starting to get confusing. They weren't telling me the right information. Sometimes they would be on target, and I knew because of how I felt that I was ovulating, and they were right. And then there were other times where it would like tell me all month that I was ovulating, and obviously that doesn't happen. So yeah, it ended up being that I, in the end, decided to stop doing ovulation sticks except for whatever I had left over. If I felt like, oh, I think I'm ovulating today, I might do one, but for fun. I stopped taking it seriously, basically. For 10 months during this process, I decided I'm not gonna drink, I'm gonna work out, be healthy, I'm just gonna take care of myself. I started, I got products for my skin that were pregnancy safe, and I got, basically I was doing everything under the moon to get pregnant, which I didn't understand why it wasn't working. So, yeah, not drinking alcohol wasn't a problem for me at all. I don't drink much anyways, but over time I think I just felt like I didn't know who I was anymore, and my life was just not fun. I couldn't do anything I wanted to do. I was just being super careful all the time, and people tell you, oh, don't stress out, don't stress yourself out, that's probably why you're not getting pregnant. And honestly, I mean, yes, that's true, but I didn't feel stressed. I just noticed these things about myself, right? Like I wasn't enjoying things as much, but I wasn't depressed or anything like that. We were deciding right before we got pregnant to just change things up. My doctor told me 2 months beforehand, why don't you just have a drink, when you know you're on your cycle, have a drink, enjoy yourself. Don't work out those days, give yourself a break, stuff like that. And she said, if you want to dye your hair, go dye your hair, don't worry about it, but do it while you're on your cycle. Then when your cycle's over, you can just kind of have a clean slate and just be careful again. But she said, but don't, I think maybe you're just overthinking things, and it won't happen when you're overthinking things. So I said, okay. Well, 1 month came and went and nothing happened, and then the next month came and what we thought went, and nothing happened. And then we decided we were going to go see my doctor for fertility help. And we went in and we discussed all the options and everything we needed to do, and she basically told me that I needed to get an ultrasound and my next step was to have, I can't even remember what it's called. It's like a hysterosalpingogram. That basically means they were going to try and extract eggs and see if there were any. I was going to have to take multiple blood tests, which I did take 2 while I was there at the office, and then I was supposed to come back that next weekend for another set of blood tests once my cycle started. So I went home, plus my husband needed to get himself checked. Basically, I went home, I studied up on stuff, and during that week, my doctor had asked me, is it possible you're pregnant now? And I said, no, probably not. She said, are you sure you're not pregnant? Do you have any symptoms? And I said, well, every month I kind of have symptoms, but I think it's, all in my head. So probably not. Went home, didn't think about it. Then Monday came along, which that was a Friday appointment. Monday came along. I knew I was going to have to do these tests and stuff, so I researched, learned as much as I could about everything. And then towards the end of that week, I realized things were off. And normally, if I was tired, it was just like a normal, like, oh, I'm kind of, worn down from the week. No, this was like some major exhaustion. I've had mono before, and I actually thought, I was convincing myself that I must be very ill, because that's how it felt. It was kind of like when I had mono when I was 19. But I didn't have a fever. I didn't have a sore throat. I didn't have anything other than this like major fatigue. So I went home on Thursday after work. Got home about 5:30 or 6, and I said, oh, I really have to go to the bathroom. I happen to have an extra pregnancy test. I think I'll go ahead and take it. I'm not pregnant, but I'll take it anyways, just for fun. So I took the test, and it was the one with the 2 blue lines that intersect. And I expected to see nothing. I knew my husband was going to come home soon, so I rushed to Walgreens. I got 2 packs of other tests, 2 different kinds that aren't even like that one. And I took the digital, and I took the one with the 2 lines side by side. Those ones I know are like really good at telling you if you are. And sure enough, everything said pregnant, and I was in shock. I didn't know what to think, and I didn't believe it. And even though I saw 3 tests that said that I was, I still didn't believe it. It took me about an hour before my husband was coming home. He was in traffic. So I decided to tell him right away because, we've been through this process before, and I thought, I just can't keep it from him. And if it's true, I can't go all night wondering, by myself, So I told him as soon as he got home, and he pretty much figured it out like that. I gave him a bag for no reason with the same thing that I gave him the first time, a little onesie in it. And as soon as he looked at the bag, he said, is this like last time? And I said, oh, yeah, it is. So it was pretty funny because we basically, he figured it out right away. And, he was like in shock too and said, how is this possible? I thought you were going to start your cycle. And I said, yeah, I thought so too, but I'm not cramping yet. And I normally do a few days in advance, which kind of tells me that I'm going to have it. And I said, I feel a little different this time. Plus, I've been exhausted. I was falling asleep while we were watching TV, at night, which never, ever happens. And I said, I don't know, something's wrong. It's either that or I'm really sick. And, obviously it's showing that I'm pregnant, so we must be pregnant. And, yeah, the next day we started to get a little more excited about it, but we were still weirded out. And then I called my doctor's office and told them, well, I won't be having that test you wanted me to come have. And my husband won't be having his test either because we're pregnant. So they were pretty excited for us, and we basically made our appointments and waited weeks for them to happen. And then we had an ultrasound, and during the ultrasound I was actually terrified to have the ultrasound. I was excited, but I was also just afraid that it would have been like last time. So, yeah, we went in and the ultrasound was actually really great. Sorry, my babies are being weird. So we went in and the ultrasound was actually like a wonderful experience. We got to see randomly, like, okay, so the tech puts the ultrasound, whatever modality on my stomach. And as soon as she touched my stomach, I saw something, but it was like the head, the top of the head, and a hand or something. But like something went like that. And I was like, was that it? Is there a baby in there? And she said, yeah, that's the baby. And I was kind of like in shock, you know, astonished that there was something actually there. And then she showed us the baby hiccuping and moving around and doing a few twists, you know. It did not want to get into the position that we wanted it to. And it ended up, the baby did a few, you know, movements and hiccups. And then it decided it was tired and it went to sleep. It literally went to sleep while we were having our ultrasound. It was in this weird position, like kind of like I sleep. I sleep kind of like legs bent and everything and arms bent. Sometimes my hand under my head, and that's what the baby was doing. And I was like, is the baby asleep? And she said, sure is. I'm pretty sure the baby's sleeping. So she had me do a few things. I went to the bathroom because they make you drink a ton of water before you go. I went to the bathroom, maybe make the baby more comfortable. And then I did a little jumping around. I came back, I lied down on the table. She asked me to cough a few times. She had me turn on my side, and then she started doing this to my belly to see if she could get the baby to like get excited or move. And the baby was still sleeping. You could see its heart fluttering, and it was just so calm. It was at the end, towards the end of the day when we had it, so I'm guessing that I kept it awake all that time, and now it was done. But yeah, it was the most amazing experience I think I've ever had. Definitely like much more excited now that I've seen it. But we had to wait almost 13 weeks to see the baby, so for the very first time. We still hadn't heard a heartbeat. We got to see it on the screen, but they don't have the technology at our location to actually hear it as well. So I was going to have a Doppler, and my doctor didn't offer for me to have one, even though I mentioned we hadn't heard the heartbeat. She didn't offer, and we were doing other things while we were in the room, so having other tests done. And then I left, and that was that. And it wasn't until this past weekend, this last Friday, that my husband and I got to go in. We have a new OB now, and she let us hear the heartbeat, so that was pretty exciting. It wasn't what I thought it was going to be. It wasn't quite as fast and gallopy, sounding like a horse, as I thought it was going to be, but it was definitely cool, and I was really happy to be able to hear it because it just like puts my mind at ease, you know. But yeah, it's been amazing, and definitely pregnancy has proven to be different than what I expected. But it's pretty amazing. I'm just excited now to meet this little person and to have our lives change forever. But yeah, hopefully you enjoyed this video. Please subscribe below and let me know if you have any questions. And definitely if you're following me on Instagram, you will already know that I'm pregnant. But definitely feel free to, continue to follow along if you want to know more or you want to see the pregnancy develop. And please continue taking this wonderful adventure with us and watch it unfold. And I hope you all have a wonderful day, and yeah, I'm excited. I will see you soon. I'll do some more videos for you guys and keep you updated. All right, ciao for now.
I'm reflecting light.